everyone, me again. Today I've got another makeup tutorial for you. I'm going to be showing you how I do my really quick summer makeup routine. I actually wore this a lot when I went to Edinburgh on holiday quite recently, and I find that every single day I'm just reaching for this same makeup bag, these same products over and over again, because I know that I can get a good result with them really quickly. And as always, all of the products I'm using are super affordable as well. So now I'm going to come a little bit closer and show you how I did this. So I'm going to be starting out by priming my face, and to do that I've been using this little concoction. So I mix the L'Oreal Infallible Mattifying Primer, and just to give me like that little bit of glow and that bit of life back into my skin, I like to mix a little bit of liquid highlighter with my primer. Today I'm using the Gosh Lumi Drops in 002 Vanilla. I always take this in my overnight makeup bag whenever I'm going anywhere, because I can mix this with my primer or my foundation for a really glowy base, or I can just tap it on my cheekbones to use as an actual highlighter. I'm just mixing them on the back of my hand, and then I'm going to slap it on my face. And now it's time for me to put some foundation on. If I had better skin, I would definitely skip this step, but as you can see, my skin is quite red, it's quite blotchy, it always is, always has been. I'm the sort of person who does need a little bit of something just to even things out. So to do that, I'm going to be using the Revolution Fast Base Foundation Stick. Mine is in F1, which is the palest shade, and I have reviewed this. I will leave the link to it on the screen somewhere and in the description box. But yeah, I just start by just drawing this wherever I can see redness on my skin, and a little bit just in the centre of my face as well to brighten things up there. And then to buff it in, I've really been enjoying this brush from Primark. I don't actually know what this brush is called because it doesn't have a name on it, but it's like this sort of slim buffing brush. I have a few of these foundation sticks, and I've definitely been reaching for the Revolution one the most. I just find that it's the perfect finish. Like, it's creamy enough to sort of build into the skin and blend it really easily, but at the same time on me it lasts quite well. That is because I have dry skin now. But yeah, I do have some other foundation sticks as well. I've actually reviewed one from Primark, and I have picked up the Lottie London one as well, but I definitely reach for this the most. But let me know if you want me to do some kind of video where I compare all three of them, or if you just want to see a review for the Lottie London foundation stick. In fact, I think today's question, the comments, is, do you prefer reviews or tutorials? Personally, I absolutely love both. I watch a lot of different makeup videos. I really like reviews, especially foundation reviews, but I still have a bit of a soft spot for tutorials, and I don't know if they're still as popular as they used to be, but yeah, I really enjoy watching them, even the more simple ones, like, you know, the kind of thing that I do. But of course, reviews are so helpful. If you're new, I do a mix of both over here, but yeah, I'm really interested to know what you think. So as you can see, that foundation has really evened things out. It's not a full coverage by any means, but it's definitely given me a much more even base to work with, which is what I'm after. But just to cover up any imperfections that are still showing, or any redness peeking through, and to cover up under eyes and all of that other stuff, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. This is in their new pale shade, which is 05. Mine is looking a little bit worse for wear because I am just obsessed with this concealer. I have been using it all the time. I absolutely love it. So again, that's just going on the back of my hand, and I like to start off just using my finger. I do have a concealer brush as well. Actually, this isn't a concealer brush, this is a domed shadow brush from Real Techniques, but I personally use this as my concealer brush, and I like to use this afterwards just to kind of buff everything out, but just for the initial application, I do like to use my finger. I also have this really small brush. I think this was actually a gel eyeliner brush that I got from eBay, but I love using this just to pinpoint my spots. I just use that same concealer, grab a small amount of that on the brush, and I'll just dab that on any blemishes on my face and then pat it in with my finger. And then once my concealer and foundation is all on, I do like to just dab over any areas that look a bit cakey with a damp makeup sponge. This one is from eBay from a brand called Teardrop Beauty, but you can use any sponge, it really doesn't matter. But if you're curious, this one cost £2.50 and I think it's pretty brilliant. And so while I'm just leaving the foundation and the concealer to kind of cook, I'm going to do my eyebrows. So this is the Revolution Pro Microblading Brow Pencil, and this is in the shade Taupe. And honestly, it is the least taupe shade that I've ever seen. Usually taupe is like a bit more of a cool toned grey, brown sort of a thing, but this one is much warmer. I've got red hair and even I think this is quite warm. However, I do like the actual brow pencil itself. I really like how slim it is and how you don't have to sharpen it. So I'm going to use the spoolie on one end and just kind of brush my eyebrows into place, and then I'm just going to kind of fill them in. My eyebrows are naturally very pale and very sparse, so I basically just draw in new ones. Then I like to use the Essence Make Me Brow Eyebrow Gel Mascara. My shade is in 01 Blondie Brows. I really like this because it has a tiny little wand, so it's really good if you've got small sparse eyebrows like me. Plus the colour is actually taupe, so it kind of cools down the warm tone of that eyebrow pencil. My eyebrows just seem to be getting bigger and bigger by the minute. While I've been doing my eyebrows, my makeup has just had a little bit of a chance to set. I find that when I do that, it stops me taking the coverage away from my foundation and concealer when I put powder on my face. And now I'm just going to set everything into place just to stop it moving around during the day. So I'm taking the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder in Transparent. I absolutely love this powder. I've just got a bit of concealer over my eyelids, by the way, but you can put eye primer on if you want to. I'm not going to do that today just because I'm not wearing actual eyeshadow, so I don't really need it. Another thing actually, another question I have for you today is, do you like watching makeup videos because you want to learn something, or do you watch them because you like the person in the videos? For me, it is a bit of both, but I know for some people it will be one or the other. So yeah, just let me know, because again, I am very nosy. Now I'm just cleaning up any product on my lips and putting on some of the Nivea Original Care Lip Balm. I'm going in with some bronzer now. This is the Revolution Ultra Bronze. I'm going to be taking this Real Techniques Duro Fiber Contour Brush and just dabbing it into the product. I'm not swirling, I'm not buffing or anything like that. I am just dabbing and then tapping off any excess. Because when you're as pale as I am, it's so easy to go overboard with bronzer. And then once I've got a bit of product on, I'm just going to kind of draw in a sort of free on my face. So I'm kind of going duh, 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 like that. Personally, I only wear bronzer or contour. I never do both. So when I'm wearing bronzer in the summer, I will kind of use it to sculpt my face in the same way as contour. If you want to put contour on, then obviously go for it, be my guest. I like to skip as many steps as I possibly can on an everyday basis. Now I'm going to take that same bronzer and use the Real Techniques Base Shadow Brush. And I'm just using that bronzer as an eyeshadow crease kind of shade. I highly recommend this if you're in a hurry or if you just can't be bothered to figure out an eyeshadow look for the day. I personally don't wear eyeshadow on like my lower lash line kind of area, but like if you did want to do that, you absolutely could. So the bronzer's given me a lot of definition and a bit of sculpting and a bit of warmth, but I still want to add a little bit of glow back into my look. So for that, I'm taking the MUA Shimmer Highlight Powder in Radiant Cashmere. Now obviously on me, this isn't a highlighter, it's much too dark for that, but it is an absolutely beautiful colour and I love using this as either a bronzer. If you use a stippling brush and really blend it out, you can use it as a bronzer on pale skin. Or I use it in place of blusher, I use it as a bronzer or blush topper. Today I'm going to be using a Real Techniques contour brush, again just dabbing, not really swirling, and I'm just going to chuck it on the apples of my cheeks, just like I would a blush. And I'm taking it quite high as well. I'm also going to use this stuff as eyeshadow on my mobile lid, so I'm just taking my finger and then just putting the bulk of it on. And then I'm getting a brush that's a little bit slimmer. Today I'm using the Real Techniques Detail Brush, getting a bit more of it on there. And I'm using this to just kind of fill in the edges and neaten it up a bit. Next I'm going to curl my eyelashes. I've been using a heated eyelash curler recently and really been enjoying it. And then I'm going in with, what a surprise, the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara in dark brown. I have dabbled with other cheaper mascaras and I love them just as much, but for me there's nothing else that kind of lasts as well as this one. Now it's just time to finish things off using a little bit of colour on my lips. So sometimes I've been skipping lip products entirely. I've just been leaving the house with my lip balm that I've already got on and calling it a day. But whenever I do want a little bit of colour going on, I kind of have to use something that I can apply in a hurry or maybe while I'm stood at the bus stop without a mirror. So a lot of the time I've been reaching for something like this. This is the Natural Collection lip gloss and this is in the shade Baked Pecan. It's just a bog standard brownish, nude-ish lip gloss basically. With this one things can get a little bit sticky if you go overboard, so my advice is to start off with a small amount and just kind of build it up. And then I'm going to set everything into place. I think if you've been around here before you'll probably know which setting spray I'm going to use. It's the Maybelline Superstay 24-hour setting spray. This stuff is fantastic at this time of year. It really just keeps everything in place. You do have to give it a shake though, just remember that. So that is the makeup done now, and if you're not blabbing away to a camera like I've just been, you can probably get that done really quickly. I think there are days where I've done this full face in about 15 or 20 minutes, which sounds like a long time, but for me that's actually very quick. I usually spend ages and ages and ages on my makeup. If you're new around here, then please validate my existence by subscribing to my YouTube channel. I make new videos every week, sometimes twice a week if I've got my act together. I'll see you guys very soon. Bye!